Hello. I trust everyone is doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in. And today we want to continue our talks on the topic of stress control or managing stress. Last week I requested that everyone make a commitment to themselves that they will take full responsibility for what happens in their lives, full responsibility for what they do, full responsibility for what they say, and even what they think. And I know you guys have done that, and I'm sure that you've already seen the benefits of such a principle. Today, we're going to discuss the first step. The commitment could be considered the foundation of dealing with stress. But today, we'll say that this is the actual first step in controlling and managing your stress. Well, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you a story. And in this story, it will illustrate how we should or how we usually deal with stress. And once you visualize that, or you can see it, then you should be able to manage how you want to deal with it. So the story is about Mike and a rat, or Mike and the rat. One day, Mike went home, and when he entered his house, there was a foul smell. Now here Mikey had a chance. He had a choice to make. He could ignore the smell, or he could have tried to find where that smell was coming from. But like most of us, Mikey just thought that the smell might have been coming from outside the house because he was tired, whatever. He didn't want to look around the house, whatever the case may be. But the fact is that he didn't look for the source of the smell. What he did instead, he tried to deal with it. And how did he deal with it? Air fresheners, scented candles. He opened the window, air the place out, what most of us would do, right? But he never looked for the source of the smell. So in this example, the smell is stress, right? So Mikey now is dealing with stress. He's managing his stress like we would all do. But he's not getting to the source or the core or the root of the matter, which is where that stress is coming from. Anyway, so Mikey continued for a week, can you believe, dealing with the stress. But instead of it getting better, it was only getting worse. Does this sound familiar to anyone? I'm sure it does. Right? So he is a week later still dealing with this smell. He opened the window. Now he closed the window because he said maybe the smell is coming from outside. All right? So he's trying to find all of these different ways of managing the smell, controlling the smell. But he never, ever thought, for whatever reason, to find the source of that smell. And that brings me to us. We never look to find the source of what is actually stressing us. So finally what happened, Mikey decided one day to come, because now what's happening, it's affecting his entire life. He has a bad attitude. He has his relationships with the people that he knows. It's getting bad because of the smell in his house. His behavior is changing. His attitude and his personality is actually just like the smell. It's disgusting. All right, it's disgusting. Why? Because he's dealing with this disgusting smell in his house. So he's nasty now. His behavior is nasty. And it's affecting his home, it's affecting his job, it's affecting everything around him. Now he's even getting sick. Because when he thinks about going home, he knows that he has to go home and face what? That smell. But he's not going to deal with the source of the smell. He's only dealing with the smell. So this day, though, he decided that he's going to find out what's causing this smell. So he looked all over the house, and he checked the vents. And in the vent was a dead rat. Again, Mikey has a choice. He could leave the dead rat there, or he could get rid of it. But of course, after everything that Mikey has experienced, he decided, of course, to get rid of the dead rat, thus getting rid of the bad smell. So he first identified the source of his stress, and he removed it. And this is what we have to do. This is step one. We have to identify the source of our stress and remove it. I know it sounds simple, and it is simple, but it's easier said than done. It requires work, and you have to want to do it. So now that I've explained how stress affects us, and it's not the stress itself, but the source of the stress that we need to deal with, this would be a good place for us to start. So that's it. That's pretty much all I want to say for now on the issue. So when you find your rat, get rid of it. And you will find that once you've gotten rid of that rat, that source of your stress, you'll feel a whole lot better. Thank you guys. See you next week. Bye.